Hello, everyone. I'm Ali with InQI, and I'm here to announce a brand new product that we just released, an upgraded product. I'm proud of my team. We worked on this thing for a few months to kind of overhaul a lot of things. The most important part of it is that we have enhanced the site plan editor. Now, some of you guys might know me already. I've been around many years. For past 2 years, we have dedicated working with designers and architects and builders to build this product that will help them, right? It's not just a product that became out of thin air. We just actively working with them. Thank you for being a member of the team. Several thousand of you are working with us now on the system. Every piece of information you give us, every information you provide us is something that we keep using to learn more and enhance the product more. So keep it coming. So let's talk about what is here and what we have done. So a new site plan editor. So we have enhanced AI recognition modules. So there's 16 different layers. I will show you in a second in the demo. But also one of the things that we did, and we heard from many different users. So our users are some of our homeowners. They just want to see their site and develop a concept. A lot of designers and architects are using our system. Tons of builders are using our system. These folks have different needs or different processes they go with. So this is an important part of us figuring out how to create a site plan editor that will be easy to use for everybody, from the homeowner who probably used to using like Photoshop or simple tools, to the architect who probably uses AutoCAD or Vectorworks or something like that, or to the builder who just needs to get things rolling. So you'll see it in a second. It's amazingly user-friendly and enhanced. 3D visualization, you will see it. It's one of those things that I'm extremely proud for my team that putting it together. It is real-time data visualization of that site. And if you happen to use the Sketch app that we have, which I'll show you, is one of the new things that we added in, and put the pergola and a pool and other things, just developing a concept. You can also 3D visualize that as well on the site, on the latest aerial imagery. So which is great. The pricing has changed a little bit. Make sure you buy into the price layer that fits you most, right? They're from the simplest one to more complex ones. If you have other projects, older projects you have purchased with us, the pricing stays the same for those. That doesn't change. But the new project, the pricing are different. So remember, a project is equal to an address, right? So that's how it works. We also enabled a couple other things that you will see in the product. Some minor stuff is added in. And we started to work on this new IQ. So this is ADU.IQ that we're working on. Won't be available for a couple of months, but you will see. It's going to be an amazing tool for you to find out how, if there's a feasibility study part of it, ADU will work on your property. All of it put in together for that. That's one of the clear things that we put in. Now, the real value of InQI is a whole lot more than just site plan. It starts with a site plan because if you're a homeowner, the site is your address, right? That's your home. So it's an address. If you're a designer or architect, you are building something, you're designing something for that address. If you're a builder, you're building in that address. That address gives you everything that there is to be known about that project, the building codes, the cost, the topography, everything about it is that address. So remember, a project is an address that starts with an address. Now, after you create an address and you get your site plan, so if you're a designer, you want to get a site plan in seconds, type the address, click, and you get it in seconds, right? In editable format if you want, like a PDF or DXF. There's nothing faster than what we're going to show you. I can guarantee that there's nothing faster than getting a site plan than what I'm going to show you here. But that's not where it stops. You can use the IQ apps, and you should use the IQ apps. Codes.IQ. Codes.IQ is the smartest plan checker ever built. It's all AI. It's tied to that address. You want to know if you can have a swimming pool and what their setbacks and what's the feasibility of it, ask Codes.IQ. It will tell you because it's tied to that address. It's as if You, with your architect or as a builder, or personally, you walk in, go drive up to the county, walk into the planning department, wait in line, ask the questions, show your plans, and get an answer. This will do it with a click, with the prompt. Estimate.IQ. So it is tied to that address. So it knows the common pricing for that address to build a home, to build a pergola, to build a pool. It knows all that. There are various databases that have normalized data based on the zip codes, right? So it knows all that. But let's say you are a designer and architect, and what you want to do is you want to take that you have done a few years of projects, you have all the prices of the bids that got in. You can put it into the system, and as you're designing, you can say, how much does a retaining wall cost in this address? It will tell you based on your history, price between $100 to $200 a linear foot, whatever it might be. If you're a builder, and as a builder, I'm a builder, so that I have a building company, I have a construction company. You are bombarded by estimating software this and estimating software that, right? I've been bombarded with it too. I'm sure you have been bombarded with it as well. Everything from a very expensive Procore and a whole bunch of other ones to all these new ones that are popping out everywhere. The fact of the matter is, estimating has to do with you, has to do with the way you price it, has to do with the way your overhead is, your cost of materials are. And that has happened last month. A few projects you built in, you bid, happened that a few months ago, before that, a couple of years ago. That's the knowledge that you have. It is in those bits. It's probably sitting in your drive, your Google Drive or someplace. If you put that in, next time you ask, this system will do an estimate for you based on how you want to get it done. It's all part of the price, right? InQuest is, you can ask all kind of questions from AEC and give you an answer. Now, that's not where it stops. I will show you in our system. The InQI mobile app is on your iPhone, on your Android phone, on your iPad, on your tablet. Take it to your project. You're going to walk the project anyways, right? You're going to take it to your project. You're going to take pictures of things. If you're a builder, you're going to have your crew. Give it to your crew as part of the app. So when they go and take pictures, it automatically ties itself to that address that you have the site plan for. This is extremely important. Now, goes to item number 3 here. Full project record stays defensible. What does that mean? So in California, where we are at, we are by law supposed to take 10 years for 10 years we are supposed to maintain our records. Why? Because things could happen. Somebody could make a claim. Does anybody really keep it for 10 years? I doubt it. It's all kind of stuff, right? So you might have your plans and your bids and so forth, but if you are taking some pictures because it was hard to take the pictures, it's in your picture roller on your phone. If something goes wrong and you have to defend your work for 10 years and you can't provide that record, game over. In this system, we give InQI Mobile to all of our folks in the field, project managers, and we give it to our crew. Our crew have it on the phone, right? Everybody knows how to take a picture. But when they do take the picture with InQI Mobile, it goes into that same folder, that same project, and you could have thousands of pictures. And every one of those pictures are LLM aware. They are being indexed dynamically by the AI engine. So documents and all those things, you could say, oh, Ali, I got my documents in Google Drive and my box.net and all that. Great. We are going to have an integration with them. But from now moving forward, keep it in one place instead of all those other places that you can never find. Plus, all this information, you are teaching the system how to help you more. That's one of the key parts. Now, run an address. We're going to do it together in a second. See the differences. We're going to sign in. You'll go to InQI and sign it. You already have an account. You might, if not, create one for free. And see how it's going to work. We're going to do one together so that we can see how it's going to work together. So stand by. Okay, so when you log into InQI, you're going to see a newer interface. What's new? You have all these different layouts, so to say. You know, the InQuest AI is now integrated to the panel. If you do it at this level, it will basically bring up all the information. There's reference binders, all the stuff is there. One thing though, if you're a designer or a builder and you're going to have a whole bunch of projects and you want help setting things up, give us a call. We will help you set the whole thing up for you. We will go on a Zoom call, ask you to get some more documents ready to put in the project reference binder and project binder. We do a little training. We want you to be very comfortable using the system, so don't shy away. Phone call or an email. We set it up for you. We want you to be very comfortable with how you use the system. And also, don't forget to give us the feedback. That's how this was driving. So what do you see on the portal? The projects this is a demo account, obviously. The projects that we have, this is the one we're going to go work with. But in certain products, you have the pictures and all that. So if I go to this one, just to open it up, you have the editor. All of the pictures are coming in from the field and so forth. You have the binder, which has all of the records in there. So all of this is searchable. But if you're here to talk about the new editor, so that's where we're here at. Right? So I ran this address just as an address. You notice that it has 0 docs and 0 images. So brand new address, right? Creating a new address is easy. You create it on your project, type in an address. We added the APN, by the way. You can type in an APN and so forth. All that stuff is there. I'm not going to go through that. So this is in Cupertino. Let's open it up. All the project data is listed there. So when you click on it, this is and you have the media and all that. When you click on it, you're going to see the new editor. Now, if you have used it before, you kind of know what it used to look like. Now look what it's going to look like now. It's enhanced editor, you notice that the AI kind of moved things into place, what it could. But let's talk about what we're looking at here. So this square here, this is the latest aerial imagery for that location. Now, we have sorted the data differently, presented it to you differently. The data was there. For example, if I go to data, this image was taken on February 3rd, 2026. You can add in more aerial imagery, and depending on your package that you buy. I know in this address, we have about 12 to 14 years of aerial imagery 2 or 3 times a year, right? Now, the parcel information is all listed here. This is all the information about, where is it, who owns it, zoning and all that. The price, that's a pretty good price for this area, 1.25 million. We get the information from public information and putting it in, right? Land use is residential, all that, right? Now, layers. These are the layers that you see active here. Like you see that the layers active are property line, roof footprint, and tree trunk. You see these guys are active, right? And they're highlighted. You see the highlights here? They're highlighted, right? So if I was going to go and get a lawn and grass active, I'll click on it and it will activate it, right? I can make adjustments here. Now, what are these layers for? These are object recognition, AI recognition of what it finds on the ground based on that image, right? Now, can I draw things myself? Of course, I can. But maybe there's a big property, I want to enable it and then adjust it, right? So that's all the data layers are at. Now, let's go and do a simple site plan, export it out, and then we go to the rest of the process, right? All right, so when we highlight an area, we are basically presenting you the latest aerial imagery. So this one was February of this year. Then we recognize stuff on the ground. Then we kind of move it into the layers, and then we layer data on top of data on top of data on top of data to get what you see, right? Almost everything, with the exception of the image, is editable. That's the case. That's why this is a site plan editor. If you're in the business, you're a designer, a builder, an architect, things that we do all the time, we go to the site and we measure from point to point. Maybe we send somebody to measure for us. Maybe we hire a property surveyor to do the work. They do the same thing. They go measure, they look at things, they draw things, and they give it to you, right? We are enabling you to do that just on the screen right here. So how do we do that? So the property line, if you look, This is a good example. They say, well, some people say, oh, your property lines, the data is not accurate. Well, it is accurate. If you go to the county that this belongs to, and I'm going to click on this thing called the Zen mode, we see on top, you get this. The difference between this that the county has and what we give you is that aerial image. County doesn't have it. County has Google image, which is like several years old, right? So what are we enabling you to do? Imagine you were sending a drone on top of this property on February 2026, and you have the sketch, right? You can move things around. So I'm looking at this and I see that there is a fence line here. There is some fence lines here, right? You see it? There's a fence line here, and there's like a structure there, right? And then on top, maybe this one, maybe this is a fence line. It looks like it's kind of, you can see the property line goes like this, just like that. And the front is a little off too. So what I do what any person with the editing function could do. Click once on one of these layers. You notice the whole thing got selected, right? Move it into location. You see, I move it into this area, right? I got it aligned here. That's good. Now I look here, and this one, I think it needs to move a little bit south, like this. That looks good. You know, it's on the side, right? Right. That's the and I'm catching this the walkway, right, in a little bit. But when the aerial photography was taking the pictures, so obviously there's an angle. It was not right on top of it, right? So I want to adjust this so I can see here there's like this little adjustments in this corner. So I click twice. Now I'm going to move this one to location, and I'm going to move this one to location. Everything is lined. That's what I got. Now, if this is all I needed, I need the roof line, I need the trees, I need this, that's all I needed. Guess what I do next? I go to export. In export, we have different kinds of exports depending on your subscription on the plan that you get. You get different options. We have enhanced it further. I'm going to do this too. Enhanced it further. On enhancement, we have different paper sizes, right? You know, you guys wanted to be able to print it on 11 by 17 and so forth. So we have ADU.IQ. We have options to fit into the page, fix the scale, all this stuff, right? We have all those options. So let's go and export. So literally, I've been talking a lot, but I bet you for something this size, less than a minute, you can get your site plans exported out. I'm going to export it out, and then we're going to talk about how that's going to work. All right, so just like that, with a click on a button, some adjustments obviously. I have a site plan that is the plan itself, right? This one here. You can download it or you can export it out. You can view it. There is a site plan. It's got the marking, it's got the trees. And if I gone in and labeled it further and further, it will have been there, right? All to the scale, right? So that's the site plan. Now, I've also done another one. This one is very popular with one of our some of our users really wanted it, and we put it together for them. It's been there for a while. This is the exact same site plan, but we kind of is to scale and all that, but we kind of put the latest imagery underneath it, right? So what does this mean? This, a lot of times when you do a site plan, you looking at it and say, oh, that's a tree, that's the sidewalk, that's all that stuff, right? This is the storage bin and so forth, right? And it comes in that 2D printed, picture. Now we have the whole thing laid out for you in that fashion. That's the main difference there. So basically in this scenario, we just made it so that we have a site plan. Now let's talk about the additional features of what we have developed. Now let's walk through the site. So we talked about the parcel information. We have that. Layers, we talked about it. Data is the important part. This is the picture date, but also you notice here we have the topography. This is a pretty flat site, right? It's pretty flat, 4 feet apart. That's set aside. So this one we're going to do 2 feet apart. So it basically calculates and puts it at 2 feet apart, right? And if you do 1 feet apart, it will calculate and put it at 1 feet apart. So we have that capability as well. We have the ability to do solar analysis. So when you click on it, it will show you this is a property. This is where the solar analysis is at. You have the ability to do windrows, and this is the windrows, right? Now, all that stuff is there. Binder. all the binder information is now accessible through here. You can simply drag and drop it and put pictures onto the file or documents. Setbacks, you can define setbacks. This is the B side, this is the A side, so you can define setbacks based on that. And export we talked about. Now, the other thing that we were going to do is we are talking about how you can use the 3D model. The 3D model is designed to be data-driven. What you see is what you get. We talked about it all the time. So if you go and click on this 3D, you'll notice that we are 3D laying what you have marked. So the trees, the house, the property. We can, I'm holding a left key and moving it around. I can see everything about it, right? I can see all of the things about it, right? And I have now simulation enabled here. So I can simulate the shadow movement. I'm going to put a swimming pool here. So I kind of look to see in the spring, it looks spring like this time. The tree going to get in the middle. It's about 4:15. That's not bad. Let's look at summer. On the summertime, no, summertime is good. Summertime is a good place to have the swimming pool there. You can also do all kind of stuff. Cloud over, sunny, rainy, foggy. So I can do rain. You basically show raining coming in. We don't get much snow in our area, but it can also simulate snow areas, right? And you can calculate the side and so forth. But let's just go back out and go to 2D. So that's the 3D. The 3D is modeling things, right? Is modeling the data that you're looking at, right? So we are going to put a swimming pool here. We're going to put the pergola in there. We're also going to build a little path in front of it. These are the sketching that we're going to do. We're going to put a couple of trees too, right? Looks like there's some paver stuff in here so we can manage it. Actually, if you look at it, it's kind of clear. The topography, right? We talked about topography. We set the data to 1 feet apart, right? So 1, 2, 3. Look, the steps are here. 1, 2, 3. So this is a higher elevation than this area, right? So you can even see it on the part. So we're going to put a swimming pool there. Right, let's go do that. You have a whole bunch of things here for measurement, a distance, an area, angles, all this stuff. And notice on the bottom it says type a command in the right below my name. If you know AutoCAD commands, you can just type it there. You have a whole bunch of controls down here as well, right? Now, we are going to talk about sketching. See, I had this drop down. So these are all the different tools that you can draw with. Like if I click on here, I have all different tools to draw with. I have different ways to draw shapes, right? This is the one that I was going to show you. Now this one is, I can do homes and ADUs and all that, right? I have all these sketching of those things. I have the ability to do trees and low vegetation and drip lines. I have the ability to do hydrozone and pool. We're going to do a pool. Let's look at the list. I have hardscape and lawn and grass. I have solar objects, line objects, other things that we can do like power lines and water lines and so forth. And I have the ability to tag and other objects. Whole bunch of stuff. These are sketching. So I want to repeat again, we are not AutoCAD, we are not Vectorworks, we're not SketchUp. We are building a concept, right? You still need to do all those things to get the rest of the stuff going. But let's go and put our swimming pool together, right? All right, swimming pool. You notice we also have longitude and latitude, and we can also measure. So the house is this way. So let's build a swimming pool from this side. We go about 15 out. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15 out. And I can type it in, but I'm going to use that. We're going to keep it square, and we go about 30 out. So 26, 25, and 30. That's 30. And I want to make sure that is square. That's square. And we're going to go back, and I want to make sure this is square. And that's square. Done. I have my pool, right? It basically puts in the numbers, and I can change all these if I want to, and all that. So it's a pool, right? I'll put it in there. Now, on this side, one of the critical part is, I can change the way it looks and so forth, but let's not worry about it just yet. It looks like we have some paths coming in. It looks like steps coming in here. So I'm going to put in like a paver patio here, right? I want to put a paver patio here. So let's do that next. So I'm going to go and draw hardscape, right? And I'm going to attach it to the pool almost. I'm going to go up to, here's going to be a good size, about 18, 20 feet maybe, go 20 feet. And we can always change it. We're going to make sure it's a square. And let's go up down to here. And I'm going to have to change it. That's fine. All right. So that's the hardscape, right? You notice the rest of the hardscape become aware because it said, oh, this is your hardscape. I see other hardscape around as well, but I'm going to delete that. I'm going to click on it. I can adjust it. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to click on this one, delete it. I'm going to click on this one, delete it. You found all the hardscape around because it wants to know that there's hardscape around. So I did it, right? Now, when I click on this one, I'm going to say this was a hardscape, right? But I'm going to say I want to use the sketching scenario, right? So that's the sketch. I want a texture. I have asphalt, concrete, decking, pavers. It looks like they got pavers here, right? So let's do pavers and let's do Harrington brick, right? So we do Harrington design, right? So that's the pavers. So we have the pavers. Now, um, we can do walkways and stuff to it, but it looks like this one comes up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that to a little bit to attach to this, and I can always sketch it and all that. Remember, you're going to be able to take this out to Vectorworks or whatever else you want and do further if you want to. And I'm going to align the swimming pool to be kind of in the center of it. That is good, right? Well, that's good enough. I think I would probably align it with this corner, but I'm a builder, not a designer, but you guys can figure it out. Now, so we have all this stuff put together, and I want to put in this is a good size paver patio. I want to, and it looks like the whole thing is on the right elevation, right? The distance between this elevation, that's elevation, so it's pretty flat up there. Clearly, we might have to do retaining walls and all that, but that's again goes into the details of the design and drafting, not more than that. So let's go and do a structure here. So we're going to do a pergola, right? The pergola, we're going to align it with here. We're going to go back there. And I'm going to go to maybe this side and keep it square all the way to here. And let's make sure that the square, and then we're going to make it square from here. And let's do a little bit more. We have a pergola. Now, the pergola is louver, it's self-standing, all that stuff is there. That's good. The pergola is on top of it. You'll see in a second how it's going to look. Now, what else we need to? Oh, some planting. Maybe we should put some trees on the corner side. So let's go to do plants. Where are the plants? They're here. Let's do some trees. So we're going to put one tree here, and this one we're going to say is a tree trunk. The product we're going to say this one is this one, right? We're going to mark it as such. So that's now marked, and you see it in the place. We're going to do another tree. We're going to do one more here. And this one on the product side, we're going to say this one is this one. So you can plant trees, right? These are obviously new. You can also name them, you can say new tree and all that stuff, right? So you can put all that stuff in there. Now, so now I have this. I have developed my plans and so forth. I can do a couple of things. I can export this thing out as a new site plan, but maybe I want to talk to my client and say, what do you think? Maybe I just want to talk to, I'm a homeowner, I want to talk to my designer. I said, this is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? I go through 3D, and you can see that it actually has built everything for you, right? So the pool is there. This is the concept. This is the concept I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at concept, and you can see the trees are there, right? The trees that we put in. There's another one here that's going right under that tree, so it needs to be adjusted a little bit. But you get the idea, So now, if I go and simulate on the side and say what is the sun going to look like, that's what the sun going to look like, right? So right around 10, shade is there, but and let's go to summer. Actually, summer is better. Around 12, you're good with the pergola. But somewhere around 2 or 3, the sun going to hit on this side, and we're no longer good with the pergola side. Now I can export it out. I can do all that stuff, and this is the value of InQI. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you use it often.